In July of 2002, the Marist men's varsity 8 defeated Queen's College of Belfast, Northern Ireland to reach the Final Four of the Temple Cup at the Henley Royal Regatta, the most prestigious and storied international rowing event in the world. Success at the Henley was a lifetime goal of Coach Scott Sanford.
Yeah, the story about how they got there was much more than just about the racing. Scott's dream of taking the crew to the Henley would eventually be realized. The tough part was that he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. However, his son Tom stepped in and led the team into a very competitive spring. That crew won the MAC Championships, the President's Cup Regatta, the Connect Cup down in Philly, and capped off the year winning the Avaya Championship against crews like Michigan and Georgetown. When the crew went to Avaya, Scott found the strength to hop in the car. His wife Judy brought him down to Princeton to actually watch his crew win the Avayas, and at the medal ceremony, the guys got their medals, and then each one of them, Coach somehow found the strength to walk down to the dock.
For us to take the medals and put them around Coach Sanford's neck, that was incredible. You know, our senior year was magical, emotional and magical, and you know, just having Coach Scott Sanford there, in spirit when we went over to England was absolutely incredible.
These guys deserved everything. They were a super group, and they were driven. They had a goal, and it was to win the Avaya, and they had a little carrot dangling in front of them. If they could prove that they could win a big regatta, then Henley was a possibility. So we flew over the ocean, we landed in London.
But we're walking through the airport with our oars. So people are looking at us, they're going, what are these guys doing?
We settled in, no one knew who we were. It was the first time Marist had ever been there. We showed up at the boat tent, we found our boat that we had rented, and the first day we set it on the water, everyone was looking at us like, who's Marist? Those guys are giant, look at those guys.
So we get to England, they tune up at the Reading Cup, where they beat a number of competitive crews, including Yale, which I think inspired confidence that they belonged.
After we won that Reading Town Regatta, there was a lot of chatter. Who is this team? And here we're at Marist College, a school of 4,000 people, and it was kind of both coaches, we kind of wanted to knock these guys off, giant killers. Who's Marist College? Well, by the end of the regatta, you'll know who Marist College is.
Our participation in Henley really did bring great attention to the college and numerous media outlets. But the best was the New York Times reporter who was over there and really, I think, took a liking to Marist and recognized this was a Cinderella story. Small colleges like Marist don't go to the Henley, but this year we were there. But then when we started winning, this writer really started following and kind of promoting Marist as the underdog who was punching above their weight.
And then the actual Henley Regatta itself started, and the first race was against Imperial, and they beat Imperial. They moved in the bracket and went against Reading, beat Reading, and they continued to move up the bracket, and their third race was against Queen's from Belfast.
And throughout the week and during the training, there were a lot of European coaches, and they were whispering about this crew from Belfast.
It sounded like this group of guys they had together for a really long time, similar to us, really high expectations, having an incredible year. So it was kind of like the two of us just dueling, going down.
I don't know if the guys lost any sleep over it the night before, but the coaches did a little bit.
But personally, and I think if you ask the other guys on the boat, that race against Queen University Belfast out of Ireland was the closest, most intense race that I've ever been on.
We line up, they take off, and all of a sudden we're in a battle.
Everyone in the stands was standing, yelling. The last 750 meters were absolutely crazy.
To the sprint, we're building, and every move that we make, they're countering. Every move that they make, we're countering. So it's a battle down to the end.
It was neck and neck. There was not more than a foot or two difference in multiple lead changes all the way down the course. And it was fantastic.
It was definitely one of those races where, we crossed the line and we kind of just fell on our oar. We left it all out on the water.
The crews looked at each other like, what just happened and who won? Nobody knew who won.
And finally you hear something, you hear, winner from the United States of America, Marist College, and we were like erupted. It was incredible.
The experience will never be forgotten by the coaches, by me, the team. It was an unbelievable experience.
And it's a memory. We're almost, we're about 18, 20 years later, and it's absolutely incredible. Just having the time to kind of think back and reminisce upon everything has been incredible.
Well, we've had many championship teams throughout our history here at the college, but if I had to rank the three that put Marist in the broadest national spotlight, I'd say, we'd have to go to Rick Schmidt's men's basketball seasons, 2 appearances in the NCAA. Of course, our women's basketball team with Brian Georges and their appearance in the Sweet 16 NCAA tournament. But clearly, this championship season we had at Marist in crew when we ended up 16th in the nation and participated in the most important crew race probably in the world and only lost to the eventual champion Harvard. This, in my mind, goes beyond sports and kind of celebrates all our humanity.
I think the sport of crew, itself is kind of like it has the ultimate parallel to real life and to hard work. And so absolutely, you take these different experiences with Coach Sanford and the success that we had, and you apply it to your life. And you use that as a coach, as a parent. You're constantly drawing upon those experiences which were life-changing.
Rock's right on our shoulder. He was there this time, right?
Quiet.
Nice and quiet, guys. On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Marist.